What is up, guys? I hope you're having a fantastic day. You know the drill. I watched another Star Wars movie and I took notes. So bear with me as I struggle through my scribbly notes and try to get to the end of this. Starting with the very first scene, I thought all the dark lighting in the beginning was really good to, portray the underworld of Corellia. I thought a lot of the stuff with the whatever her name is and the white worms, it was just kind of whack, a little bit strange. Not a big fan of it. But I thought for the most part, those scenes were pretty true to Han's character, how he's kind of, just going back and forth with her, bartering, and, just acting like Han would. I thought the speeders chase scenes were pretty good, just looked cool. I think Corellia looked really cool. All the CG was actually pretty good in this movie. Han bribing the guard, I thought that was pretty cool. It makes sense, seeing Han's character. But one thing I kind of wondered is, why Han would really care so much about Kira, because where he has to leave her and she stays behind, he gets to go through and yada yada yada. I don't know, I don't know why he would care so much, but again, we don't really know the full backstory of those two characters, so yeah, it sort of makes sense, I guess. The Han Solo name origin, that was really cheesy. I mean, I get it. At the board meeting, I can see why someone pitched that idea. It makes sense, it's pretty clever, but damn was that cheesy. Han joins the Imperial Academy. All that stuff is not really shown, so we're kind of just jumped forward into the future. And we get this World War I-esque trench mud fighting, all that stuff. That looked pretty cool. It seemed a little bit out of place in the movie, but it still looked cool. Chewbacca's origin, Han speaking Wookiee, I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. It seemed a little bit forced that somehow Han just knew Wookiee, and they might have explained how he knew it, but I don't know. The fact that Chewbacca was a captured, slave fighting, killing people for the Empire seems a little bit, wasn't a big fan of that story. I thought there was a lot of good secondary characters in this movie. I really liked the four-arm guy. I just thought he was really funny and just added a lot of great energy to the movie. Shout out to Bosk. There must be a scene with Bosk in it, I don't remember, but shout out Bosk. The campfire scene was really good. It was funny, it was warm-hearted, there's a lot of good banter, good back and forth, and yeah, I just enjoyed it, honestly. It gets us to see a little bit the more serious side of Han's character and some of the stuff that might have shaped how he went about his way in the galaxy. I thought the train heist was really good. It reminded me of something like, I think like Captain America, the first one, where they're on the train in the snow and stuff like that. It just was a good heist scene overall. Orient Express, whatever. There's a lot of that kind of imagery there. The Bionicle dude, or I guess it was a girl actually, but they're pretty much Bionicles, let's face it. They looked at a fucking Bionicle Lego or whatever and said, that's what we're going to model our character off of. I wrote down Han Simp tier confirmed. I don't know why the fuck I wrote that. I wrote that for another character. I think Kylo Ren in the last one. I was probably just being an idiot there. Bad guy middle management. I also don't know what that means, but I wrote it down. There was a good Han quote where he said, "We've already got the pilot." I don't remember the context of that, but I wrote down that it was good. I thought casting Donald Glover as Lando was a great choice. I think he brings so much charisma, and I think it's just a great choice for a younger Lando. I like the Sabacc scene. I thought it was actually pretty cool seeing that. The fact that Lando cheated, again, really speaks to his character. How he kind of screws them in Empire despite being friends with Han, and at that time, he didn't know Han anyways. I killed Aura Singh. Oh my gosh, that is a throwaway line, people. Aura Singh getting written off with a fucking line. Come on. I don't know. I guess it does kind of speak to the testament of, what's his name? Beckett? I think his name's Beckett, but the testament of his toughness and, so it makes sense, but it was a throwaway line. L3 was a droid activist. I'll be honest, that kind of subplot, not really subplot, but it just kind of annoyed me, but it was also a little bit funny. There's something about they don't serve our kind, call back to A New Hope, so there's some okay lines in that, but for the most part, the whole L3 stuff really just annoyed me. You know, in some cases I liked her, and in other cases it just got overboard. Trust no one. That was a quote. I think it was Beckett saying that to Han, and again, that's a great quote. It's a great lesson. Maybe it's not a good lesson in real life, I don't know, but it makes sense. Show why Han kind of turned out the way he did, why he was skeptical to help people out. But it just makes sense. Droids destroying things in the factory, that was hilarious. They went to, I think it was Kessel, right, with the spice mining and all that. The droid rebellion. I'll be honest, I didn't love L3, but the droid rebellion, that was hilarious. I thought that was really fun, and I don't know, just a great scene. You know, Chewie leaving Han, I think that makes sense for the story. Really, Chewie wasn't a main character anyways in this movie, so, you know, we saw his origin and then just kind of departed, which I'm fine with that. Getting to see the Kessel Run, I mean, do we really need to see the Kessel Run, right? But the scene looked cool, you know, all the CG, all the shots of space, you know, just the energy of that scene. It was really tense. I think a well-filmed scene. Kind of a callback a little bit. T3 getting uploaded to the Falcon. I thought that was really interesting, actually. That was one of the more interesting little origin stories, even though, again, I'm not for all these origin stories anyways. I thought it was really cool. You know, because they talk about, I think in the original trilogy, they talk about how the Falcon has, like, this mind of its own, like, so that's T3, I guess, in the Falcon, speaking to everybody. I wrote down just generally, this was just a general thought of the movie, that there was a lot of one-liners and a lot of, you know, quippy snappy dialogue in there, and I thought some of the one-liners, especially Han's lines, were great, and some not so much. You know, there's always that thing with casting someone who's such an iconic character, you know, or such an iconic actor as Harrison Ford, and then casting a totally different person to play him. It's weird. It is really weird, honestly, and I don't even remember the actor's name who played Han, but I think he did a good job. It's just still a very strange thing to have, and I don't know how to describe this, but there were some lines where I'm like, this guy studied tape, like this guy watched the OT a lot, and he just captured Han brilliantly. And then there were some lines I'm like, I'm not really convinced this is Han. So again, I don't really care that it's a new character. I'm open to that, and I'm fine. You know, it's just a spin-off film anyways. So, you know, some lines really hit hard and the others kind of fell flat, but it is what it is. When they get to that desert planet or whatever, finding out that the Marauders are kids, I don't know. I don't know how I felt about that. I guess it's kind of cool. You know, it kind of goes back to that, oh, it's the little guy rebelling against the tyrannical empire and all these systems that are against him, and, you know, it's that kind of emotional response, like it's kids and their, you know, parents were killed and all this stuff. So it's fine. I mean, whatever. I wrote something down about a Jabba connection. I don't know, there must have been a reference to Jabba the Hutt. I know, that's maybe a new channel name right there, the Jabba connection. But the bad guy, whoever the main bad guy was, I just wrote it down that I thought he was a really great actor, actually, really menacing, and kind of like a Bond villain, really. He really is like a Bond villain, honestly. Good double cross ending. Just getting to the ending, I didn't take very many notes on this one, so this video is going to be a lot shorter. The ending had a great double cross. You really weren't expecting it, honestly, and I don't know, it's just fun. And then, of course, we got to get to this one. Maul. Freaking Darth Maul. You know, what do you even say about that? Like, this was a character that was totally a throwaway character, chopped in half in a Phantom Menace, dead, written off. They bring him back, and now he's in 2 TV shows and a movie now. It's just ridiculous, honestly, the fact that Darth Maul is kept alive so long. And we, of course, know his fate is, or at least we think we know. But it definitely sets up for a second part, so I don't know if we're gonna see a Solo 2. I know this movie didn't do that well at the box office. I'm really not sure. probably didn't sell very well. I know, just streaming on Disney Plus, so I don't think people really buy the DVD anymore. I'm not sure. But yeah, there's definitely room for a second part here with Kira, with Maul. You're getting to see all that underworld stuff, the Black Sun, the Pikes, the Crimson Dawn. All that stuff is fun. Honestly, it just kind of makes it more into like a TV show kind of atmosphere where we get to see that criminal underbelly, and it's fun. It's nothing spectacular, but there's a lot they can do with it. The final scene with Han and Beckett. Han shot first. I mean, we got anything better than that? I mean, Han shot first. Right? So what are you going to say to that, George Lucas, huh? What are you going to do? Are you going to go edit that out? I'm just kidding, but no, I mean, Han shooting first was great. Don't trust anybody. Han didn't trust him, and he shot first. And I think that solidified how Han's character was going to move forward. And, it was great. It was a really fun scene. Beckett saying, "You're nothing like me." I think the quote, I think I have it written down here. I just want to, yeah. So he said, Dryden dead, Kira kill him? You still don't get it, do you, kid? It was never about you. She's a survivor. You know what your problem is? You think everybody's like you. Not you, kid. You're nothing like me. And I really like that. It kind of speaks to that duality of Han's character. He's a tough guy. He's a renegade. He's solo, like his name. He does things by himself. He doesn't trust people. But he also has that little bit of good in him. And again, we also see that at the very end. Han gives them I don't know what they call, I forget what they call the stuff now, but he gives them the stuff, the goods, to the pretty much what seems to be part of the early rebellion. Kind of, right? The rebellion, of course, would fracture and kind of group off from many places, kind of like a ground up grassroots type of thing. But yeah, Han gives them the stuff in the end, right? So it kind of shows that, yeah, Han's doing his own thing. He's not trusting people, but he's not a bad guy. He still has a good heart. He still wants to do good. And, it makes sense speaking to his character, how he's all about money. He's all about doing his own thing. And he comes back and, he helps Luke out. And he really saves the day, honestly. And, that's why Han's probably my favorite character in the original trilogy. I think he's a great character. I think Harrison Ford is, fantastic. Yeah, so there's a lot of foreshadowing to the OT. There's a Han and Lando callback I wrote down, and the last Sabacc game where Han wins the game fair and square. He takes the card from Lando and wins the Falcon back. It's like he's cheating the cheater, but he's not trusting anybody, but he's not doing anything really immoral, or wrong. He's just, playing the game, and I just think it works good. I think it really, I think it captures Han's character pretty well. And just some final thoughts about this movie. I've said this many times, and I'm not going to stop saying this when I talk about Solo. The worst thing in this movie was the fact that it was made in the first place. We didn't need it. We did not need this. We can speculate about all of Solo's past adventures. We can write fan fiction and comics. This really didn't need to be put into a movie. Period. It didn't. We did not need to see the Kessel Run. We didn't need to hear how Solo got his name. We didn't need to see Chewie's origins or any of that. We didn't need it. But we got it. And the movie was fun, And I think I put this one in B tier. It might drop down to C tier. I'm not really sure. I might kind of rethink how I've ranked some of the lower tiers in my tier list. But it was a fun movie, right? It was fun. It was enjoyable. I enjoyed the movie. It's not too long. It's a little long, but it's still pretty well paced. And, again, we didn't need it, but we really don't need a lot of the stuff that's being made right now. But we have it, and might as well make the most of it and enjoy it while we can. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. If you got any thoughts, any comments, let me know. I love hearing people's feedback. I love hearing people's opinions on things because, just a lot of great stuff. A lot of great opinions out there. And yeah, I mean, I'll probably do this for Rogue One. That will probably be my next one, because I haven't rewatched Rogue One at all. So I ranked that movie pretty low initially, but I really need to rewatch it, because I definitely need a second opinion on that, and I want to take notes on that movie as well. And who knows, I mean, maybe I do the prequels too, maybe even the OT, probably not, but I'll at least do Rogue One. Yeah, so thanks for watching the video. Until next time, guys, peace.